going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So today is Tuesday. Hope you're having an awesome day wherever you are. I am currently being snowed in. There is a storm outside. I'm not going anywhere today. I hope you're having a better day maybe, but it's definitely cabin fever over here with the snow. That being said, we are seeing a little bit of red today, not too much. Markets lost about $1 billion overnight. Having a look at the Bitcoin dominance, it's gone up slightly. When people tend to worry about, if Bitcoin's going to get hit, they sometimes go into it just to sort of preserve that value because, the altcoins usually get hit harder when Bitcoin falls. But having a look right now, we do have a $3,627 Bitcoin. Ethereum still holding strong in second place at $120. XRP 30 cents, and Litecoin is still holding strong in fourth place. Now, if we have a look at the biggest gainers of the day, we have Komodo 10%, MOAC 7%, Quant Network almost 7%, PundiX, Metaverse, BitShares, Wave, Zcash, Icon, and Status all doing quite well today. Now, if we have a look at some key levels that I want to talk about right now, obviously, I'm kidding, guys. This is ridiculous. We're going to keep it simple on this channel. We're not going to go that crazy. So we obviously broke this line right here. We were holding it. Like I said, it touched about 11 times before we finally broke through. So here we are. But the interesting thing about this, though, is this is not occurring due to the lack of volume. As you can see right here, volume actually is picking up. It's almost curving like this, right? So this is actually real sell pressure that is happening due to volume, right? So we're not going to see something like a short squeeze, but the question is, are we going to still have that Bart Simpson pattern? Going back over here, we have had situations where we've lost volume, popped back up, only to fall back down again. So if that does happen, we could see the same thing. So what am I doing? Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing. Personally, I actually have a order to sell right around the 35, 40 type areas, sort of right around here. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I think that if we have a sharp drop down to that point, then we will go much lower. And I'm hoping to then buy those Bitcoin back much cheaper. Now, if my order doesn't get hit, great, then we go up. So that's basically what I'm doing because I really don't have any other advice for this right now, guys. Now, obviously, one thing you can look at if you want to sort of know what everybody else is doing, you could look at Bitcoin shorts. As you can see, they were very, very high right over, February 8th. They came down and now they've gone back up. But if we move on over to Bitcoin longs, you will notice that they are up quite high as well. So you will have to do what it is that you feel you need to do, but take it all with a grain of salt. That being said, looking at this chart, I still think we're freaking close enough for the bottom for me, but if you can get a little extra gains in there, why not? So moving on and talking about it, we do know that obviously we had Mark Dow, right? He was the International Monetary Fund economist that shorted the market all the way from 20K, finally closed his position. I don't remember the number. I want to say 3,300 in that range. I could be off by a couple $100, but he said, I'm done. I don't want to ride this thing to zero. I don't want to try to squeeze more out of this. I don't want to talk about it. It seemed like the right time. So you are seeing this happen. Actually, this tweet I retweeted yesterday, which is interesting. So they say that the Bitcoin price could certainly face more bloodbath. It's possible in the weeks to come as it approaches the final phase of its 14-month bear market. However, if Bitcoin falls from the $3,000 support level, because we did touch 31, which it has defended quite fairly, well, then we could be looking for an even lower bottom or potentially just an accumulation phase. So simply put, traders expect the bottom of Bitcoin to be established in a region that is not far away from the $3,000 mark. While it could take a long time for a proper bottom to be created, analysts foresee a recovery by the latter half of 2019 due to various fundamental factors, such as the halving of Bitcoin's block reward. We know about this, right? A lot of people think that May, leading up to it, it's a year, that usually has been the bottom. Will it be the bottom? I don't know, guys, but that's what they're saying. Now, there is one guy. Now, this is Zhao Dong. He's a Bitcoin billionaire, whale, whatever you want to call him. He is one of China's biggest OTC traders, and now he is saying that he doesn't see crypto winter ending just yet, but he thinks this is a phenomenal time to accumulate and stock up on your Bitcoin. So he made his comments in a WeChat group, which is actually called the Public Chain Alliance Crossing the Bulls and the Bears Elite Team. Obviously, that's translated because that just sounds ridiculous in English. But anyway, he said that fewer people are following Bitcoin right now. Clearly, you can tell Google trends are down. Less people are talking about it, right? Obviously, a lot more people were talking about Bitcoin in 2017. Hence, we've seen a price drop, less interest. Furthermore, he suggests that people won't start paying attention again until the price returns to tens of thousands. In fact, when I was talking the other day on my interview, we were discussing what do we think is going to be a catalyst, right? And I pretty much said price. I mean, realistically, everyone's pointing to institutions and this and that, but most people got interested in 2017 because they saw the price go up. Most people don't look at crypto or don't look at assets the way that we do, right? Like we're like, yeah, I want to go lower. I want to accumulate more. Most people are like, no, I don't want to buy something that's going lower. I want to buy it when it's going up, right? So this is translated, but he says, so it might be a little rough translation, but for most people, if they don't pay attention to Bitcoin now, they won't pay much attention to the most of the time. So for them, only how many tens of thousands of Bitcoins will break them will be noticed again. If you and I believe in the future of Bitcoin, so it is best to hold as much as possible when nobody cares. So I know that's very broken translation, but you understand basically what he's saying. Now, they also talked to him about industry trends. He said that for 2019, everyone should just try to have a good winter. 2020 would bring the spring, he thought, with the summer not expected until 2021. Incidentally, back in November 2018, Dong predicted a Bitcoin price of 50,000 by 2021 on a micro-blogging site, Weibo. Now, actually, before we continue, I want to show you something that was floating around. They did, now, who did this? I want to give them full credit. This is Boogie Crypto. And it says animal signs in crypto years. So apparently we're currently in the year of the hamster, which is accumulate and buy. Now, I mean, realistically, are we actually going to be in perfect 4-year cycles? No. He's just having fun. But if you look at it, it's interesting. So you have 2011, 2015, 2019, year of the sloth, which would be 2012, 2016, and 2020. Market moving up slowly, trade a little, mostly waiting, then year of the bull. So according to this, that means the bull run might not happen until 2021. Massive bull run, get rich, sell the top. And then, of course, year of the bear, 2014, 2018, 2020. What goes up must come down. So I thought this was really cool, little infographic. But getting back to this, Dong actually goes on to say that in the bull market, he doesn't persuade people to buy Bitcoin because it seems easy to make quick money. But in fact, it's not. Now, in the bear market, he says he starts telling people to buy, which is smart because this is, you ever hear that saying, you make your money on the buy, not the sell, or something like that, right? You get it. It's all a matter of where you get in, right? So he said that this would make 2019 both the best time and the worst time for entrepreneurs and investors. Despite the deaths of more companies and projects, good projects are cheaper to invest in. So on one hand, you're having layoffs and failures, and a lot of these coins are going to be dead. But on the other hand, the ones that are good, you're able to scoop up cheap, and they're able to put their heads down and build. And finally, he said right here, which could arguably be the most important thing, the only thing you need is patience, which we know nobody has, but it's something that you need to learn, right? It's a virtue, right? It's a virtue. Now, before we go on, I just wanted to bring this up. Thought this was cool. Do you guys remember Flappy Bird's pretty addicting game, right? So it looks like they have a clone of the game that is apparently on EOS. This is it over here. I don't have anything connected, so I can't play it right now. It looks like right now you can win up to 140 EOS for the mystery prize pool. Now, I was actually pretty good at this game back in the day. Actually, funny story before we go on. Do you remember that people were like, because Flappy Bird got taken off, right? It got discontinued. And then you remember that people were selling iPhones for like way over the price if you had the app installed? Well, I kept the Angry Birds app installed, the Flappy Birds app installed on my phone in hopes that I could sell it for more. And, lo and behold, I ended up like dropping my phone and breaking it. And I don't know, it's funny. Like I just think back now, at the time, I could have got a lot of money for the phone. But little anecdote, just having fun here. Sometimes just gotta talk. So anyway, according to the report by Tribe, one free try is allowed every 12 hours. Top ranking players may win EOS, and holders of the game's FLB token can earn dividends every 12 hours. Since daily volume's currently low, though, the dividends are pretty weak. So far, the blockchain-based version of the game has not taken off. DApp Radar shows that there have only been 57 users on the platform over the last 7 days with 154 transactions, which is the equivalent of roughly 3 EOS. Which, what is the price of EOS? What is 3 EOS currently? Yeah, that's not a lot of money at all, guys. But anyway, moving on. So I want to talk about what is going on. In a recent podcast, we have Twitter and Square CEO Jack Dorsey. He's been in the news a lot lately, hasn't he? He revealed there are plans to integrate Lightning Network into the future Square Cash wallet development. He also discussed that the team behind the app are considering letting users auto-buy Bitcoin with savings from Cash App's Boost feature. That'd be pretty cool. He said it's not if, it's more of when and how do we make sure that we're getting the speed that we want and the efficiency. We don't think it stops at buying and selling Bitcoin. We do want to help make happen the currency aspect, the idea of actually using crypto as a means of transaction, not just as like a speculative asset or store of value, right? Which currently Bitcoin, it's pretty damn slow if you're not using the Lightning Network. You guys know, I don't have to tell you. According to Dorsey, he's talked also with Elizabeth Stark, she's the CEO of Lightning Labs, to discuss the initiative. So he said, we have a massive seller network, businesses of all different sizes, and we would love to make Bitcoin payments as fast and efficient and transactional as possible, and that includes looking at our seller base and our register. And finally, he says, it feels it's the, this was when asked about, Bitcoin and compared to other coins. He says it feels it's the only one that wants to be currency the most versus others that are doing more general purpose things or distributed computing. I think the altcoin space has generated some really amazing ideas, but I'm focused on currency and the transactional aspect. I mean, actually, if you go to the top coins, a good amount of them are actually trying to be currencies. I mean, Bitcoin is a currency. Ethereum could be argued as a currency. XRP is definitely a currency. Litecoin is definitely a currency. Bitcoin Cash is definitely a currency. Bitcoin SV is definitely a currency. Dash is a currency, right? Zcash. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of those, and that is what he's saying. So that is good news. But the question is, you guys know what's been going on with the lightning torch all over Twitter, right? So they're trying to get Elon Musk to take the torch. They think if he can take the torch, that'll just be like the coolest thing ever, and it would be really great for, Bitcoin publicity and stuff like that, Lightning Network adoption, right? So we'll have to see. I know he's really busy working on a lot of projects right now. We don't expect you to, worry yourself with the little lightning torch, Elon Musk. All right, so this is an interesting article. Now, this guy, Bernard Mueller, now, let it be said that this guy, before we even get into the article, might be a little bit biased because he owns 3 Generation Zero crypto kitties. But that being said, he says, what is a better store of value? Bitcoin or a Generation 1 crypto kitty? Let's dive in. Let's see what this is all about. So, a lot of background. We don't need to know about how, mining and stuff works. Now, it says Bitcoin and crypto kitties differ not only in appearance and maximum supply, but also in the value proposition and technical details. Metaphorically, Bitcoin more closely resembles gold, while Generation Zero cryptocurrencies resemble rare collectibles. You can see right here, he kind of breaks down the difference between the two of them. Going down here, so here's historical performances of Generation Zero crypto kitties priced in ETH, and then here they say if you take $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, and this is from July to December, versus the price of a Generation Zero crypto kitty, the crypto kitty has retained 100% of its value in US dollars, whereas Bitcoin has only retained about 47.7%. Okay, like I said, take this with a grain of salt. So down here it says, the latest fashion in the Bitcoin camp is to proclaim Bitcoin to be an improved digital version of gold. However, they say that this value proposition has a few problems. Firstly, it requires all rational actors to eventually acknowledge the supremacy of Bitcoin, given the emergence of many cryptocurrencies with vibrant communities and the rapid pace of innovation in the space. This seems a little far-fetched. A multi-currency feature, whatever. Let me skip down here. And then another problem is high transaction fees, yada, 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 okay? So, in conclusion, he says, objectively speaking, Bitcoin and a Generation Zero crypto kitty stand out from the crowd in one and only one particular way, being the first of their kind. Bitcoin is the first successful peer-to-peer, provably scarce digital currency, while crypto kitties are the first successfully provably scarce digital collectible. Considering historical price data and fundamental valuations of the two digital assets, it would appear that Generation Zero crypto kitties represent a safer and more stable store of value and more promising speculative investment opportunity. Coming from the guy that owns three Generation Zero CryptoKitties. So, what do you guys think? Would you rather own a Generation Zero CryptoKitty, or would you rather own a Bitcoin? I'm still going with the Bitcoin, but that is just my opinion. Okay, moving on, talking about some coin news. We have a new bug in Ethereum's Constantinople upgrade that's been found in at last minute, with it affecting a limited number of smart contracts that utilize self-destruct. So, Jason Carver, a developer at the Ethereum Foundation, says that a new feature called Create 2 can allow a developer to replace the self-destructed contract and thus change the rules. Now, we know that we have the Constantinople fork up and coming, so this is really soon. We don't know how this is going to be affecting it, right? They're saying sending Ether isn't the only way to get hosed. For example, you might use ERC20's approve on a contract, seeing that the contract has certain rules about how it will use your approved token. So self-destruct doesn't look particularly dangerous there pre-Constantinople, because the contract can only go away. Now it can go away and come back with code that transfers all of your approved tokens. So, you guys can read all about this. It's a lot of technical stuff. I'm not going to, bore you with the technicals, but basically that will allow smart contracts with self-destruct to trick individuals into stealing their money. Their considered options were to remove it altogether, modify it, or leave it as a way to basically educate everyone by letting them know that certain smart contracts are not immutable, but changeable at will. So what they've decided yet isn't currently clear. Most of them are based in the US. They spoke to Afri Shodan, of Parity, who in reply to whether or not this will delay the fork, he says no. He says it won't. Okay? However, it's nice, it's quite new, so it isn't clear how familiar, he is with all of this. So we really have to see what they're going to do moving forward. So there could still be a delay in this. It's possible. The one thing that I think was pretty interesting was there were these they're doing auger bets on whether or not the fork is going to be delayed. So I thought that was pretty cool. Also, kind of on the same topic of Ethereum, Etherscan got a little bit of an upgrade. I don't know if you guys remember. If you kind of look at their Twitter, you can see how the old one used to look with the search up here. So looks pretty nice. I don't know. There you go. Also, another kind of upgrade. I think these guys are getting the hint when people were talking about usability and making these interfaces a lot better for the average user to use, right? So my Ether wallet, they have a nice upgrade here. You can see it's all completely redone and everything like that. Personally, I haven't tried it. I've been using my crypto. The reason I use my crypto and not my Ether wallet is because there was this period of time for a week where my Ether wallet just wasn't working. So I just went to my crypto, and then you just kind of got used to using that one. But they're basically very similar in nature. So the one thing I do want to point out, though, what's pretty cool about using my Ether wallet, or MU for short, is that they've integrated Kyber's liquidity pool. Now this happened April of 2018. It allowed for millions of users to access and convert tokens directly and easily. But previously you were only able to swap from ETH to ERC tokens and vice versa. With the update to the interface, users will now be able to perform arbitrary ERC20 to ERC20 token swaps with over 70 different tokens, including wrapped Bitcoin, DAI, True USD as well. This new feature is also specifically designed to ensure that even non-technical newcomers will find it a breeze to swap tokens. I myself am a fan of making it very easy for the average person to use, so kudos to these guys for doing that. Now, moving on, the unfortunate thing, though, still, when we're talking about these dApps, is if you see, look right here, more than 80% of the decentralized applications, or dApps, do not have any transaction volume in the last 24 hours. We spoke about the abysmal 10% usage of total, and they're saying only, basically what I'm trying to say is no one's using the damn things, okay? I appreciate that we're making these dApps, but we really don't have any dApps yet that are better than centralized apps. It's all philosophy, decentralized, right? But actual user experience, most centralized apps are still better to use. And this is a problem that we're having. As you can see right here, it says, according to the website, a total of 1,839 dApps active at the time of writing, only 310 have moved at least a dollar. In the past day. Figure represents about 16.85% of registered applications. They go into more right here. They talk about different statistics for EOS and Tron as well. Still quite low, in case you're wondering. So the thing is we really haven't really seen that killer dApp yet, and that's something that I definitely am quite interested on the channel, guys, for sure. Oh, here's the, I meant to talk about this when I was talking about Ethereum. Here's the auger bets. Oh, look, Veil is not yet available in your region. You can have a look around, but cannot log in or make trades. Thanks, New York. Anyway, let's talk about this. Now, this is a pretty serious thing that's happening. We have another project, this one I'm sure you guys are very familiar with, that is being hit with this again. So we have the creators of Elastos, the cryptocurrency exchange Huobi as well, maybe in legal hot water after Elastos ICO investors accuse them of hosting an unauthorized securities sale. I'm sure this isn't the last we're going to hear about these types of claims. So, the investors have asked the New York Supreme Court to summon the Elastos Foundation and team members as well as Huobi and its U.S. partners to answer their complaints according to a leaked summons filing. Now, this has been confirmed by Rong Chen, so this is not a rumor. This is not speculation. Scrolling down here, it says the summons claim that the token distribution was an unregistered U.S. security sale. The filing alleges that ELA tokens were sold on the premise that they were an investment which would increase in value as Elastos developed its ecosystem and user demand increased. The document says that neither Elastos or Huobi registered the ICO with the SEC. The white paper describes ELA tokens as utility tokens, right? Used for trading and exchanging value on the Elastos blockchain, as well as to pay for network fees. Holders were encouraged to participate, if you guys remember, in the 3-year lockup period and earn 6% returns on their assets, but they ended the scheme in October due to some, concerns about what was happening in the US. The ICO ran in January of 2018 and sold 2 million ELA tokens. Although investors from China were not allowed to participate, there were no restrictions against US citizens. So received on January 31st, the filing has yet to be signed off by the county clerk's office. It's therefore not a formal summons at the time of writing. I actually did have the documents pulled up. I must have deleted them. I don't know why I don't have that. If I find them, I'll drop them in the link below. But yeah, interestingly enough, I mean, I forget what they said they were. Is there a price in here of what this is? Or yeah, there was another thing too where there were those early angel investors that were suing them for a bunch of money, right? So, coming over here looking at what they did. So $94 million was raised, as you can see right down here. One Elastos token was $18.09 at the ICO. Okay, that was the ICO price, and currently it is sitting at $2.13. So when you compare that to the ICO price, that's really, really bad in terms of returns, and I can see why those guys are pissed off. And then I'm not surprised to see why this got brought up. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that, guys. And like I said, I don't think this is the last we're going to hear of this. I can see a lot more projects getting hit with this moving forward. Now, talking about a project that's actually been doing quite well. I'm a fan of this project, Quant Network. I love interoperability. They had an AMA that happened yesterday. If you guys missed it, it's been completely, put onto this Reddit, and you guys can read it right here, fully transcribed. I will drop that below. Also, moving forward, a couple things from Blockfolio Signal. Apparently now they're doing this little thing where they're putting it all out on here. So Decred released a proposal for its own decentralized exchange, DEXs, right? Binance, they're talking about their DEX, right? Their DEX. But so Decred, they put a proposal for a DEX, and they said it's for a crypto-only exchange with minimal fees and cross-chain trading directly between users. And also, Ethlend, another project, says that they're proud to announce its most anticipated update now on mainnet with Bitcoin interoperability, micro-staking, in-app wallet, and DAI lending. They now allow users the ability to borrow against Bitcoin for the first time. It also introduces the ability to borrow against the stablecoin DAI. That's pretty much that news. Now, here's something I found very interesting, and this is not from a crypto source. This is from the nationallawreview.com, so this isn't like crypto related. The reason I'm talking about this is because, look, they're talking about BitTorrent. Now, we know BitTorrent's been really huge because of Tron, their acquisition, the token sale, the token airdrop, which happened yesterday. But this is a little bit unrelated. This is actually due to a lot of copyright issues due to the fact, how this happens when you're dealing with these types of things, right? So according to one source, over 3,000 separate copyright infringement suits were filed just last year alone. For comparison, during the previous year, only about 1,000 such cases were brought forth. So, this is a 3x, really. So this has caught the eyes of even the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, in which it was declared that more than just a simple IP address would be required in order to issue a verdict against any particular defendant. This sets a curious precedent of which attorneys across the spectrum should take note. Obviously, they're not going to try to hit everyone, right? What are you going to do? Find out everyone that lives at every IP address? No, they're pretty much going to pin it on the source, on BitTorrent, right? On the biggest guy they could get, right? So the decision of the district judge, Michael H. Simon, reads in part because multiple devices and individuals may be able to connect via an IP address. Simply identifying the IP subscriber solves only part of the puzzle. A plaintiff must allege something more to create a reasonable interference that a subscriber is also an infringer. And somebody actually commented this, and they said, will Justin Sun take this opportunity to say that he's going to monetize the BitTorrent platform using the BTT token so that the people can get money they deserve? Or will Justin fail to acknowledge the lawsuits and officially ruin the television show Friends for the rest of my life? Obviously being funny, but something to consider. I mean, this is just more baggage that kind of comes along with that. And finally, guys, I want to finish on some Ripple news. So Ripple partner SendFriend says it just raised $1.7 million from MasterCard Foundation, Barclays, MIT Lab, and Ripple itself. The platform aims to dramatically lower the cost of sending money overseas and will start by giving, people in the U.S. a new way to send money to the Philippines. The technology will allow SendFriend to circumvent the corresponding banking systems by converting U.S. dollars to XRP and sending the digital asset to the Philippines, where it will be instantly converted back to Filipino pesos. Literally what XRP is designed to do. The entire process is designed to take a couple of minutes. With you guys know how XRP works. I'm going to go into this. But yeah, so that was pretty good news for them moving forward. Now, I also want to talk about this. So we have two public pension funds are dipping their toes into the world of crypto venture capital. So this is big news according to Anthony Pompliano, because he says as far as he knows, nobody has raised money from a public pension. So Morgan Creek announced a new crypto-focused venture fund with $40 million invested. The two public pensions anchoring the fund are Fairfax County, Virginia's Police Officers Retirement System, and Employees Retirement System. Speaking to the conservative bent of those involved, the new fund's investors are also included a university endowment, a hospital system, and an insurance company, and a private foundation. The size of the two funds helps to illuminate the potential of bringing public pensions into blockchain investing. Morgan Creek's new fund will primarily make seed investments in equity, though in certain limited cases, it will also invest in token-based projects that don't create equity opportunities, but do have cash flow. It will also hold a small amount of key cryptocurrencies. The fund has also closed deals in some of the most established names in crypto, including Coinbase, Bakkt, BlockFi, Trust Token, Harbor, and Good Money, among others. So this is just more good news moving forward. We also have this interesting article, Bitcoin Grafffiti calls for crypto adoption from the White House to Amsterdam to Ecuador. So basically, the White House has just been tagged in a lively game designed to boost awareness of Bitcoin. Players can virtually deface the White House with graffiti. Satoshi's World allows players to add text wherever they want in the world, laying messages and images all over real-world locations of their choice. I'm not sure what the point of this is, if only the people using it can see it. No one else can see it. I don't know. But I guess it's just for fun, right? So another Bitcoiner on Satoshi's World tagged the Royal Bank of Canada. He said, Bitcoin uses too much electricity, they said. The Next Web, based in Netherlands, sprayed Amsterdam Central Station, long Bitcoin, short the bankers. And the virtual uprising spread to New Zealand and South America, where a player in Ecuador chimed in with long Bitcoin, short the banks, spraying the catchphrase across Banco Pichincha, I think that's how you say it, the country's largest private bank. Satoshi's World joins another crypto game that's been catching fire, the Bitcoin Lightning Network Torch, which we just spoke about before. Maybe Elon Musk will get it, maybe he won't. Also, here's some boring news for the day, but got to put it in there. So, the new chair of the Financial Stability Board believes the emergence of crypto assets could be a major hurdle for the agency as it plans to review its current frameworks for accessing global financial vulnerability. In his inaugural speech in Hong Kong, Randall K. Quarles, or I think it's Quarles, who also serves as the vice chair for supervision at the U.S. Federal Reserve Board of Governors, said that the FSB will start reviewing its framework to ensure it's at the cutting edge of financial stability, vulnerability assessment. He also noted that while such review process is aimed to improve the agency's ability to recommend better financial stability policies for the G20 nations, a well-rounded framework might just be difficult to accomplish given the evolving developments of new technologies such as cryptocurrencies. He said this will not be easy. Developments like the emergence of crypto assets may challenge any framework, but that makes the goal of a robust framework all the more important. And finally, before we go, I just want to talk about what is going on with Venezuela. I think this is crazy what they're doing. So after years of hiding behind the fig leaf of socialism and revolutionary anti-imperialist rhetoric, the embattled Venezuelan government of Nicolas Maduro has shown its true colors with a new 15% tax on cryptocurrency transactions that may be best described as opportunistic, if not outright tyranny. 15%? So listen, the new policy announced in the country's official's gazette, issue number 41581, quotes the Venezuelan National Superintendents of Crypto Assets and Related Activities, which we're just going to call SunCrypt. So the senders of the remittances referred to it in this ruling that it's obliged to pay a financial commission in favor of SunCrypt up to a maximum amount of 15% calculated on the total of the remittance. So they say, while that sounds bad enough already, there's more. The decree gives SunCrypt the power to set transaction limits in addition to arbitrarily levying transaction tariffs up to 15%. According to the announcement, SunCrypt has set a crypto transaction limit of $600 per month, beyond which the sender will require permission from SunCrypt up to a hard limit of the value of 50 units of its ridiculous petro cryptocurrency. So what does this mean in a nutshell? Well, basically it means that Venezuelan crypto users can now expect to pay up to 15% of their value of their transactions to Maduro's government, with the amount they can send restricted to just $600 a month. To send between $600 and $3,000 a month, they will need permission from Maduro's government, which essentially means that in order to realistically enjoy a standard of living greater than $20 a day in Venezuela, you now need a government waiver. I think this is absolutely ridiculous, guys. As you can see down here, they say the tax is blatant attempt to feed parasitically off of a purely grassroots-driven innovation that has saved hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans from literal starvation, while their government-issued press release and Maduro basically gesticulated for TV cameras. After Venezuelans have discovered crypto out of necessity amidst the incompetence, and this article has a lot of really colorful language, by the way. But basically, guys, this is just crazy. So on top of this, the other thing that's not cool is that the new tax will be paid using whatever cryptocurrency Venezuelans transact in, but the tax will be levied in petro, which this means effectively is that the petro, assigned a arbitrarily value of $60 per petro, will be artificially inflated by tax receipts collected across a basket of cryptocurrencies instead of letting Venezuelans decide its value for themselves using the demand and supply mechanism. Maduro's government is effectively using state power to create demand and trading volume for its own virtual monopoly money, the petro. So on that note, guys, yeah, not cool. Absolutely not cool. And, I don't really want to end on a bad note, but I do want to point something out. This is exactly why, we have turned to these things. This is why, even though crypto has gone down, I personally still see the potential in it. I mean, look at this. $20, the same $20 in 1932. Look at what you could have gotten. 482 gallons of gas, today you only get 7. 427 gallons of milk, today you get 6.3. 675 dozen eggs, 10 dozen eggs today, right? You understand bankers use inflation to steal your wealth and keep you working longer for less. The thing is Bitcoin fell from 20K to 3K. Okay, it also went from 8 cents to 20K. Let's not forget that, right? Look at what's happened to the dollar. If you hold a dollar, you are guaranteed every year to lose 2 to 3%. Guaranteed. It's going to happen, right? So just wanted to point that out, guys. And let's end on a funny note before we go. Got my new ledger. Don't be like this guy. I'll wait. Okay, the joke is that his seed phrase is in the background. No, it's fake. You could try it. People have tried it. It doesn't actually go to a Bitcoin wallet. But this is why you must always keep your private keys safe. And if you write your words down, definitely put them somewhere where no one is ever going to remember them. Or you can try to remember them yourself. You know, if you feel like memorizing 24 words, that's a possibility. But that being said, guys, obviously, speaking of Ledger Nanos, I want to say thank you so much for everybody that's been keeping your crypto safe and using the referral links below. They really help support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and I definitely appreciate it, guys. And as you know, we do like to give back as well. If you guys haven't had an opportunity to, you can scan the PIVX barcode right here if you'd like to win a swag bag that we will release the winners next issue on the Blockchain Brief. And that being said, guys, I want to say thank you so much for coming back to the channel. You're freaking awesome. Obviously, thank you for everyone that's been liking, subscribing, commenting. If you're new to the channel and you actually made it to the end of this video, definitely feel free to get subscribed. I do videos every single day, pretty much even on Sundays anymore. And yeah, once again, thank you for coming back to the channel. You guys rule. Let's have a quick look. What are we doing right now? Oh, it's going back up, guys. Maybe my order's not going to get hit, which is fine. That's cool. I don't mind. We can go up. Either way, I'll take it, guys. I will take it. So that is it for me today. Working our way towards tomorrow, our favorite day, hump day, and then it's, you know, halfway through the week. You know the drill. Thank you again, guys. My name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And peace out.